Cyber attacks in auto care. Coming up on Apex TV, the potential threats this security expert sees and how industry leaders are working to protect you. Hi everyone, I'm Kimberly Bottom for Apex TV, brought to you by ZF.
And I'm Andrew McIntosh. Day 2 of Apex 16 kicked off with the show's general session. Hundreds of attendees and exhibitors gathered to learn more about cybersecurity and how cyber attacks could impact the auto industry. We are joined now by a very special guest, former director of the CIA and NSA, 4-star General Michael Hayden. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You gave a very interesting presentation about cybersecurity and cyber attacks. Why should we be concerned about this?
For reasons of convenience and empowerment, and these are all good things, we've now pushed things that we used to do in physical space and maybe keep in a notebook or in a drawer or even in a safe. And now we've pushed it up here into this digital domain because it can handle scale and availability, and it's just great. But it's also very vulnerable up there. And unfortunately, we've rushed our stuff up there and parked it up there without a true appreciation as to how vulnerable it is. And now we're seeing the results of that ill-considered decision. We're seeing an awful lot of losses, financial losses, reputational losses, embarrassment when people publish emails and so on. And so we're only now beginning to catch up with, well, if I'm going to put this stuff up here, how do I defend it? And that's now our cultural and technical challenge. How do I defend it up there?
So how could cyber attacks impact the auto aftermarket industry?
Sure. For the automobile industry, I mean, in many ways, you're just a multi-point computer with tires and an engine going around a neighborhood street. I mean, you've got digital devices on there for telematics, for diagnostics, just for the smooth functioning of the vehicle. And that's great. And I know what it does to make the vehicle more efficient and, frankly, more safe. But it's also interconnected. It's also wired into a larger universe. It also has what we call a large attack surface, where people who might want to will us harm through that vehicle can enter the vehicle and begin to take over controls, things for which the digital devices were never intended.
So is there a solution or something that people can do to prevent or protect themselves from these kinds of attacks?
Sure, of course there are solutions. Nothing in the world is perfect. When you go to a new capability, no matter what it is, you do build in new vulnerabilities, but you don't have to accept all of them. You can reduce them. It might be a question of design. It might be a question of use and how an individual uses particular types of equipment. It might be just questions of discipline. But this is new for all of us. And again, before we rush here to this kind of mecca of convenience, think twice about what the dark side might be. With every model year, people are going to put improvements into the vehicle. And again, that's a good thing. But with those improvements come potential vulnerabilities. Here's a thought, all right? I want middle market folks, I want ultimate consumers, when they think about buying a new product, to use as a discriminator, not just its efficiency, its scale, its cost, use as a discriminator its security as well. And if the consumer at all levels begins to adapt to that attitude, I think producers will meet those demands pretty quickly.
A lot of great information and a lot to think about. Thank you very much, sir. Auto Care Association President and CEO Bill Hanvey says the association is staying on top of cyber threats and remaining proactive to protect its members.
We approach the technology standpoint from 3 ways: education, technological solution, and advocacy, of course. So from an education standpoint, making sure that our industry and the consumers are aware of the technology that's coming. We have someone specifically in place on the Auto Care Association staff by the name of Joe Register, who is our Director of Emerging Technologies, and he is responsible for pulling all those pieces together to see how that technology affects the industry. We also have an Auto Care Working Group that has representatives from all facets of the industry: Tier 1 suppliers, distributors, retailers, service shops, so that we get a collective voice from the industry so that we can more collectively approach those technological advances as an association and continue to bring benefits to our membership.
Shock absorber technology was a hot topic on the Let's Tech stage. An expert from ZF Services talked about CDC, continuous damping control. Electronically controlled CDC dampers use sensors that monitor road conditions, payload, and driver actions. The evolving technology means better safety, control, and comfort for drivers.
Mercedes is combining that in a system with a camera technology right now. With a camera technology, as I said, they can see what's going on up front, and then they see, oh, there's a hole, a pothole front left. And then they can adjust directly the shock absorber on a hydraulic way that they can absorb the energy of this bump.
Technology is supposed to make your life easier, not harder. And that's what Continental's electronic screwdriver is all about. It's our feature for today's Apex TV Technology Spotlight. This service tool provides a limited function option for facilities that don't need full functionality for a scan tool, but they still need to provide service resets for things like oil changes, battery installations, and parking brakes.
The scan tools require a learning curve to use them. This enables a technician who may not necessarily have the need to go in for a scan tool, where you can go in and just perform a service, flip a switch, enable the vehicle to function the way at a baseline, and come back out without the complexity of a scan tool.
A crowd gathered for a big announcement from ZF, the introduction of the new North American aftermarket team and the new aftermarket sales force. Following last year's merger of TRW, ZF is one of the largest aftermarket companies in the world. With an expanded global reach and a complementary product portfolio, ZF is moving forward with its core mission to provide exceptional customer service.
Bottom line is, what we got to do is find a way to combine our technical competency with the service to those folks who need to take advantage of it. And you sometimes hear, oh, the OEs, they're hard to deal with. So what we want to do is create a possibility of sort of the best of both. That technology, that production competency, but also with that aftermarket price and style, service level, packaging, and people.
Along with all the amazing cars, the stars are out all over the exhibit floor.
Whoa! What's up, Apex?
The fans have been just so receptive, wonderful. They told me of stories that I forgot about.
You know, this is crazy. Every year it amazes me how much bigger and better everything gets. And this is my third year coming out with Haviland, and I couldn't be happier. It's a really, really neat deal.
Hey guys, I'm Grant Enfinger, driver of the number 24 Champion Power Equipment Chevy in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So we're just hanging out here in the Champion Power Equipment booth today and meeting a lot of great people. Man, I love this Apex show.
Of course, the show is much more than glitz and glamour. It offers real solutions and real opportunities. Attendees and exhibitors told us how Apex helps them stay ahead of the curve.
Apex is helping me stay ahead of the curve by making sure that all my customers get exactly the best products and what they need and get the highest quality of it. Do it in the most efficient way as possible.
Branding my company.
Networking. Exposing us to new customers.
Staying connected with the aftermarket.
Providing an opportunity for everybody to join together.
Showing all the new products, information, and technology that's available in the industry.
All new at Apex 16, the automotive technology section. This one-stop shop offered cutting-edge solutions like this enterprise software company.
We've been in the telecom industry, we've been in the e-commerce industry, and then now we've started to come into the auto parts industry as well. We have a couple of customers that we've been doing some enterprise software for, all the way from their ERPs, that consists of all of your warehouse management, front end, back end, all of this stuff. And now we've started doing some business intelligence for their supply chain side.
Attendees said consolidating tech solutions into one place was a great idea.
What caught our eye was the gun safe. They do have a fingerprint technology that's available with one of their safes, and also finger digital code, so it's not as apparent what code you're typing in. It's nice when it's separated out and everything is together in one space. It makes our lives as buyers a lot easier.
I'm joined now by a first-timer to the Apex show, Congresswoman Dina Titus of the 1st Congressional District of Nevada. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
Well, it's my pleasure. My staff has been here before, but I'm usually in Washington. You are right here in the heart of my district, so welcome to Apex.
Welcome to Apex as well. So you saw the show floor. What do you think?
Well, it's most impressive, and I realized how little I know about this industry, but I learned a lot. We saw everything from air fresheners to the latest technology that will stop the car for you if you're not paying attention.
Exactly. So can you tell me what the partnership Apex has with the City of Las Vegas means to you guys?
Well, you come every year and you bring a lot of people, and that number is growing, so you're one of our key conventions, and we always want you to come and have a good time and leave a little money behind, because that helps pay for education in Nevada.
On a broader scale, the auto care industry, what does that mean to our nation's economy?
Well, it's a very important part. You know, people buy a new car, but then they want to keep that car a while and want to keep it with the latest technology. So we want this to be an industry that has protection. We want it to be an industry that grows, and I look forward to being an advocate for the industry in Congress as regulations come up or legislation which may affect the industry.
Thank you so much for your time and for speaking to us, and we hope to see you at future Apex shows.
You count on that. Thank you.
We got a glimpse into what the future may bring. During the 2017 Aftermarket Outlook, experts presented their research. They believe e-commerce should be a focus in 2017. While consumers may not buy a lot of aftermarket products over the internet, they do research them online. So it's important for companies to have good reviews and descriptions of their products. 2017 should also be a time for the aftermarket to cater to a new generation.
For 2017, our expectation is that millennials will really need to be the focus for us in the aftermarket. We know that a lot of boomers are retiring. We know that millennials are coming into their peak driving years, and this is an area, especially not only for 2017, but for the next 10 years, we're going to see a generation shift take place. And in the aftermarket, we need to be thinking about how we are going after and targeting those consumers, again, as they come into their peak driving years.
The industry's only under 40 group is doing its part to keep the aftermarket thriving. The Young Auto Care Network group, Yang, has grown to more than 1,000 members. During the show, they held a town hall and a networking event. Anyone under 40 can join Yang, and it's supported by some big names in the industry.
Where are we going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? And a lot of these companies that do sponsor us, they need a succession plan. Everybody needs a succession plan. And by helping the young people stay excited, stay involved, and stay in our industry. There are a lot of industries out there, but what can we do to make people want to be here? A lot of people don't get to come to Apex, and it's a shame, and that's where Yang steps in and says, you know, we can take Apex to our constituents, to our members by having regional experiences where they can go and be involved and have the industry come to them.
We're millennials, and millennials is what it takes to bring up future generations, and so getting us involved now will help auto care in the future.
Another day, another Show Us Your Selfie Instagram winner. This selfie scored Tony Cano a $150 prize. Thursday is the last day to participate and win, so get to Instagramming.
Even though the show is coming to a close, you can still keep the conversation going online by using the hashtag Apex16.
We look forward to seeing you at Apex 2017. For Apex TV, brought to you by ZF, I'm Kimberly Bottom.
And I'm Andrew McIntosh. Thanks for watching.
In a world of explosive turbocharger growth, who will you turn to? Standard presents the Turbocharger. 100% new and quality remanufactured direct-fit turbochargers for diesel and gasoline-powered vehicles. Full coverage turbo domination is here. And don't miss all new, not remanufactured diesel fuel injectors only from Standard.